Hello, this is Dr. Embody. Today we're going to practice while and if-else with the fizzbuzz problem. And what the fizzbuzz problem is, is we're going to take a program, print out the numbers from 1 to 100. But if the number is a multiple of 3, instead of the number, we'll print fizz. If it's a multiple of 5, we'll print buzz. And if it's a multiple of both, we'll print fizzbuzz. Now, as we've mentioned many times before, there's always a simpler problem to look at. In this case, it would be a simple while loop to print all the numbers from 1 to 100, and we can try that out. Notice how it starts at 1. While our n is less than 100, we will print the number, and of course then we increment by 1. So let's take a look at multiples of 3. Well, what does it mean to have a multiple of 3? Well, multiple of 3 means that if I take the number, divide it by 3, and look at its remainder, the remainder is 0, it's divisible by 3, and so we will print fizz. Otherwise, we will print our number. When I'm printing the values, I have, instead of 3, I have a fizz. Instead of a 6, I have a fizz, and so on. Let's now add in divisible by 5, exactly the same way. And as I've typed this, this actually won't work because the else is only associated with the divisible by 5. So we need to tie this all together with an else if. Now, if the number is divisible by 3, we'll print fizz. Otherwise, if it's divisible by 5, we'll print buzz. Otherwise, we will print the number itself. Now we can see that instead of the 3, we print fizz. Instead of the 5, we print buzz. Instead of the 6, we print fizz, and so on. And now let's take care of the final piece. Well, we have that we're looking whether it's divisible by 3 or divisible by 5. You might be tempted to put it here. In this case, again, what we have here won't work. And the reason is that, consider this situation. If n is divisible by 3, if that's true, we'll print the fizz and nothing else. Otherwise, if number is divisible by 5, we'll print the buzz and nothing else. And so that means we can only get to this point if both of those expressions are false. Well, in which case we won't print fizzbuzz. So it's in the wrong place. We can fix that by moving this expression to the beginning. Now we have if we check the situation, if they are both true, we'll print fizzbuzz. Let's suppose they're not both true. Suppose we have the number 6. So divisible by 3 is true, divisible by 5 is false. Now, so that first expression is false, so we move on. And if our number is 6, we'll find that divisible by 3 is true, we'll print that. If we backed up, suppose we had the number 10. In that case, divisible by 3 would be false, divisible by 5 would be true. Because of the and, the whole expression would be false, so we'd move on. Divisible by 3 would be false, divisible by 5 would be true, and we would print the buzz. Let's give that a try. Now we can see that in the values that we want, fizzbuzz divisible by 3 and 5 being 15, 30, 45, 60, 75, and 90 all print fizzbuzz, and the other values of fizz and buzz are printed as before. So